Hi, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Tommy Maroon Sports Show right here on WCTV, episode number 239, if I'm not mistaken. And I would not be mistaken. I'm always right. But enough of that. More on the Cleveland Guardians because, woo, they're doing a phenomenal job, including guys like David Fry, 355 average, 8 home runs and 24 walks. Whereas you also have guys like Jose Ramirez, of course, 272 average, 16 home runs, 57 RBIs. Josh Naylor, at least 48 hits, 33 runs, and 16 long balls. And Andres Jimenez, 276 average, 9 swipes, 59 hits. That was heading into yesterday's contest. And Sharon Bybee, 69 strikeouts, 4 wins, and a 1.17 whip. And then there's Tristan McKenzie with a 3.77 ERA heading into today's game, or yesterday's game, 54 strikeouts and 2.14 average. And Ben Lively, 5 wins, 2.84 ERA and 47 Ks. And then there's Emmanuel Clase, who has been shut down. Dear God, he has been shut down for sure. A .31 ERA, .61 whip, a 160 batting average, and 18 saves. Doesn't get any better than that, folks, does it? I tell you how it gets better when the Guardians don't beat the Rockies in the series, but do beat the Nationals in the series. We'll get to the Nationals in a bit, but lost to the Rockies 2-1. Anyways, Logan Allen didn't make it out of the second inning in Game 3. And Ty Blach, 7 innings in Game 3. Well, Will Brennan had a pinch hit RBI in Game 3. And then you had the Guardians against the Nationals. That game right there. All right, another good win for the Guardians in the series. 2-1. Almost won for the sweep. Did not get the sweep, but it's all right. Because David Fry had a 3-run bomb in Game 1. And Stephen Kwan returned from the IL in Game 1. Went 3 for 4. And Kyle Manzardo had a 2-run single in Game 2. Was a blooper out to shallow left. And there was some miscommunication. The ball dropped. And then both runners scored in scoring position. And then get this, Jose Ramirez scored from second off a wild pitch. How about that, folks? He pulled his inner Kenny Lofton in Game 6 of 95 and Jason Kipnis in Game 7 of the World Series. And Will Brennan had 2 hits in Game 3. Wayne Thomas and Joey Meneses, 2 RBIs each in Game 3 for those Washington Nationals. That was the only game the Nationals won. And, of course, another game, another victory for the Guardians last night, being an 8-5 win over the Kansas City Royals, as they were able to bail out Tristan McKenzie's rough day where he gave up 9 hits, 5 runs. He did get 7 strikeouts, though, but surrendered 3 home runs. But, hey, at the end of the day, the Guardians won, so why should we complain? There was a huge error that led to 3 runs scoring in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and leading the Guardians to a massive 5-run 7th inning, and ultimately propelling to a 5-game lead. And Josh Naylor homer. How could we possibly forget Josh Naylor hit a home run? How could we possibly forget Tyler Freeman tied the ball game with a home run? But yeah, this Guardians team looks like they're for real, folks. 40-20 on the season, and hopefully there will be more where that came from. A list of teams that are better than the Guardians right now in baseball consists of the Yankees, consists of the Phillies, and that's it. Better than the Orioles by half a game. Better than the defending champion Rangers, who are under 500. Better than the Braves. Better than the Brewers. Better than the Dodgers. The Dodgers. I couldn't be any happier to be a Guardians fan. What a time to be alive, folks. Because, of course, you got the Royals today and tomorrow. Then a weekend series against the Fish. The Marlins have been the opposite of the Guardians. Of course, Cleveland's 40-20. Marlins 21-40. And then it's a series against the Cincinnati Reds at the Gap. Great American ballpark. So there is that. Always a great time to be a Guardians fan, isn't it, folks? I cannot complain. Cannot complain whatsoever. They're just doing phenomenal. But anyways, enough of the Guardians. More on the NBA Finals, which is going to kick off tomorrow night. If we could see the playoff picture right there, it looks a little like that. Unfortunately, the Cleveland Cavaliers are nowhere to be found in the finals for the 6th consecutive year. But you know what? Still a good season for the Cavs, but we're not here to talk about the Cavs, unfortunately. We're here to talk about the last two teams standing, the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. Boston, with probably the easiest path I've ever seen to make it to the NBA Finals, beating the number 8 Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler, being the good old Cavaliers, who were, of course, the 4th seed, and they were without Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen for a majority of the series. And they kind of struggled. I mean, when I say kinda, because think about it, they went 1 game apiece in the series against Miami and Cleveland before they just ran the table after that. And then swept the Tyrese Halliburton-less Indiana Pacers. That's a 12-2 record in the postseason. That's pretty darn good. And what's even more impressive is that they only dropped 4 home games in the regular season, 2 in the postseason. So that's a grand total of 6 losses altogether at home, which is pretty good. That's an understatement, unfortunately. They were so good to the point that you see the New York Knicks right there at the bottom right corner of your screen. Well, they were 14 games back of the Celtics for that top seed. Boston cruised all regular season long. They cruised all postseason long. And now they made it here for the 2nd time in the last 3 years and for the 5th time since 1986. They've only won 1 NBA championship since then. That was back in 2008. Of course, the year we learned anything is possible with Kevin Garnett. But still, will this be the year Boston does it? Who knows? Because we have the Dallas Mavericks on the other side, the western side. The best 1-2 punch in the NBA, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving. As you can tell, it was pretty good for them. They beat the Clippers in 6. Then beat the Thunder in 6, and then beat the Timberwolves and a hungry Anthony Edwards in 5. And, of course, they were 7 games out of the Thunder for the top seed in the Western Conference. Of course, the Western Conference was really jam-packed this year, full of good teams. Really the top 6, 7 teams, really 8, I should say, in the Pelicans and Lakers as well. Cannot forget them. Of course, the Kings and Warriors kind of struggled, as you can tell up there, top left corner of the screen. The Warriors dynasty might be over, folks, but enough of that. It was a total free-for-all, to say the least. Any one of those teams had a shot, and it ended up being the Mavericks with it. Their first NBA Finals appearance since 2011. Yes, because 2012 was OKC, the Baby Thunder. And the 3rd in franchise history, joining the likes of 2006 as well. They won in 2011 over LeBron and the Big 3, which was kind of an upset. I remember that. In 2006, they lost to Dwayne Wade and the Heat. This was before Chris Bosh and LeBron joined the team. But anyways, the Mavs were 50-32 in this year's regular season. Their goal, win the whole thing. Of course, that's everybody's goal, but still, only one can be on top of the NBA world, and I think it's going to be Boston 5. Boston 5. It's been way too long for the Celtics to be without an NBA championship. 16 years to be exact. Good Lord, 16 years. 2008 was when they won their last NBA championship with the Big 4. Well, it looks like number 18 is going to be hung in the rafters at the famous TD Garden. Dallas with 2 great players, but Boston, my goodness. You got Kristaps Porzingis returning, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, who else? Drew Holiday, Derek White, Al Horford. Those are 6 guys I mentioned. 6 loaded up guys, whereas the Mavs have just Luka and Kyrie. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're 2 great basketball players and 2 of the best in the NBA. And LeBron said he's really upset that Kyrie's no longer with him. I mean, who wouldn't be? But still, they're going up against a stacked and loaded team in Boston. Of course, Jason Tatum has been to the NBA Finals before. 2 years ago, lost to Golden State. Many of the Celtics were there 2 years ago, did not win over Golden State. Of course, lost that in 6. But still, Luka Doncic is there for the first time ever. Kyrie, of course, has been there before here in Cleveland, won in 2016, as we all know by now. So, I think this should still be a good series. It starts up tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Game 2 on Sunday the 9th. Game 3 Wednesday the 12th. Game 4 on Friday the 14th. And then if we have a Game 5, it'll be Monday the 17th. And then if there's a Game 6, Thursday on the 20th, and then Sunday the 23rd would be your 7th game. They really space out the NBA Finals. Let's do the math. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 18 days for 7 games. My goodness, that's quite a lot of days just to play 7 games of basketball. And, of course, there's only been one 7-game series in the last decade. Who was it? Of course, the Cavs and Warriors, the legendary 2016 NBA Finals, where the Cavs won 93-89. I'm pretty sure we all know that by now because this is Northeast Ohio. We're still clinging on to that. I mean, why wouldn't we cling on to it? It's been the city and region's only major sports championship in the last 60 years. But anyways, enough of that. More on the excitement for high school football. As you can tell, if I can turn up the brightness, 79 days to go till it's time for high school football. I'll just walk up and show you folks. Right there, 79 days to go. 79 days, and then we play high school football. It should be a dandy. And once the NBA Finals are over, I will give you my rundown for everything that's going on in the high school football world. I'm not revealing it yet because, of course, you have to wait till the NBA Finals are over. Of course, for my Highland Hornets, I'm liking our odds of perhaps winning Division II Region 6 this time. We lost last year in a tough one to Avon. But this year, it's hopefully going to be a little different. I think it'll be a little different. I know it'll be a little different. I know for a fact that one day Coach Gibbons is going to tell us, hey, we're going to be state champions. And sure enough, we will be state champions because we were that good at football. Well, folks, the Tommy Maroon Sports Show is done for the day. But I'd like to remind you that Friday on WHBW, my one YouTube channel, or my YouTube channel that broadcasts the Highland Horns of Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, Friday at 4 will be the Tommy Maroon Show, where we will look at high school picks, EA college football, and a lot more. Of course, we looked at EA college football last week, of course, so I don't know if we'll be doing it this week, but still, maybe they'll drop another thing. I don't think they will, considering the fact that they're spacing it out. How many days? 44 days. 44 days till the EA college football game is out. I'm praying to the good Lord that this game is not going to be bad. I hope it doesn't suck, but it's EA. So get your hopes low. But you never know. They claim it's going to be good, but it's one thing to say a game is going to be good. It's another thing for a game to actually be good. Till next time, I'm Tommy Maroon. Thank you for watching. So long, everybody.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.